Boys and girls, sir and ma'am, welcome back to my channel. And in this video I'm going to talk about why are kids not getting jobs. Why has it become so difficult during the past couple of years or 3 to 5 years to find jobs, to get jobs, and what are some of the reasons that are causing this change? Why has life become so difficult, so increasingly difficult for job seekers? We are going to talk about in this video, right? Now, my name is Chandra. I am based in India and I run a successful marketing agency that is focused on SEO. I used to work a 9-to-5 job. I used to work for the government of India, and obviously a little bit of my life story and past stuff and background. I have recorded a Loom video that you can find a link to in the description. Feel free to go ahead and check it out. Now, talking about the subject at hand. The first thing we want to talk about is the role of technology in job search and hiring. Now see, technology has made life easier and made things more efficient across industries in different various walks and realms of life. But it has really ruined job seeking and job hunting and job search. See, it is increasingly difficult if we compare it to like 20 years ago or 25 years ago. It is a lot more easier to find a job. It is a lot more easier to find out which are the companies that are hiring, how much they're paying, what are the kind of roles that they're hiring for, etc. But it has become extremely difficult to actually get a job. It has become extremely challenging to actually land a job, right? And I will give you a quick exercise to demonstrate the point that I'm trying to make. Go to LinkedIn right now and search for a job in any job market. Let's say you are looking for a software developer role in the US. Go to LinkedIn jobs section, type software developer, location set to US. You can set the job type as remote or regular office, that's up to you. And posted during the past 1 week. For any random job posting, you will see that thousands of people have applied for it, right? And the same is the case for all the other job posting and job hunting platforms, be it LinkedIn, be it Indeed, be it Naukri.com in India, or any other platform. So technology has made it easier to find information about jobs, about companies that are hiring, but it has made extremely difficult to actually find a job or land a job through these online job postings. And what is the reason for that? The reason for that is this. See, if you remember, like a couple of decades ago, like in much until early 2000s, how exactly people used to apply for jobs. You see some advertisement somewhere on their website, or let's say before the online world, you would say some advertisement in the newspaper. You would attach your resume, you would prepare your resume, you would prepare a nice professional cover letter, you will go and buy postage, buy some stationery, do some research about the address where it has to be posted to. And all that process would require a decent amount of effort and expense, right? As a result of which, only people who badly needed a job and who were dead serious and who were qualified would apply for it. So for a certain number, and another thing is that most of the applications would be from local candidates only, right? So most of the companies, they would receive a handful of applications, like a couple of dozens, and they would schedule interviews and hire somebody, right? Now compare that to how the roles and responsibilities of an HR or a hiring manager works like today. Let's say you are hiring for a tech company. You post an application on LinkedIn. Within 24 hours, for most of the job roles, especially that are white collar jobs, office work, something that you can work remotely with a computer, most likely within 24 hours you will receive hundreds, if not thousands, of applications. Now, what are the incentives for that HR, who is obviously not the highest paid employee in the company, what is the incentive for him or her to sit down for hours and manually go about scanning all those applications individually and check all of them one by one? There's simply no incentive for them to do that. And on top of that, they are under pressure. They have a deadline to meet. They already have an availability for that role. The work is suffering and they are under pressure from the top management to fill that position as soon as possible. So there is absolutely no incentive or no motivation for them to really sort through that pile of applications that are coming in like a dozen per hour, right? Now, and to add to that misery, you see 95% of these applications are from non-serious people, and they ruin the game. They ruin the chances of even some of the most deserving candidates in that pile of applications, because technology has made it so easier to apply for a job. Like anybody who's job seeking, or anybody, a company may be hiring in San Francisco and some kid may be sitting in Nigeria, and if they need a job, they will apply for it, just thinking that, oh, I might get lucky and get this job. I might get an interview just based on luck. It doesn't work like that, but people don't understand that, right? So this process has become extremely inefficient, and if you are doing this right now, spending hours every day applying for jobs on LinkedIn, unless you are going for some extremely rare skill, for example, some physiotherapist or some medical skill, it is extremely difficult to find jobs through this process. Now, if HRs and hiring managers are not hiring this way, how exactly are they hiring? They're hiring based on referrals. 90% of hirings in today's times for important roles, for roles that are that they have a deadline to meet, and that are critical roles, they are hiring through referrals like good old times. So if they are under pressure to fill a position fast, they would just talk to other people in their company who may know somebody who knows somebody else, or they would talk to their to the place where they raised funding from, the VC firm, or they have whatever acquaintances and friends that they have. They will speak to them and say, hey, I need this kind of person for this kind of role. Do you happen to know somebody? And if you do, please refer me to them. Please connect me with them. And that is how they're hiring, right? And the HR, the hiring manager, he has or she has no incentive to wait and look for the best candidate possible. Any half decent or above average candidate that they are going to find who is good enough to do the job and who agrees to the pay and other terms and conditions, they're going to take them, right? Because they are not going to be paid like a 50% bonus or anything like that if they hire somebody really good. Like, it's their job, you have to hire, okay? Now, so this is how things stand as of now. And if you are looking for a job or a freelancing opportunity or anything like that, especially remote jobs, and if you are spending your time applying on LinkedIn or Indeed or any other platform, it is extremely difficult to find a job like that. And you have to have this perspective. You have to think from the perspective of that HR manager or that hiring person, or even if it is the founder himself who's hiring. Now, what is the solution? How do you beat this? First, you have to have a solid network. You have to know important people who can refer you to job openings and who can refer you for roles that are open and hiring at various companies. And this is easier for people especially who have graduated from top colleges. But again, this is rare. Like 95% of people don't have a connection like that, don't have a pedigree like that, don't have a background like that where they will know rich and influential people who can refer them in various places. So what are the solutions? What is the option for the other 95%? What are they going to do? How are they going to navigate this difficult circumstance? For them, they have to use a strategy that I call as skip the line. And what do we mean by skip the line is, first things first, stop applying online through job portals where everybody else is applying. You are going to just get lost in that pile of resumes, number one. Number two, what next? You need to learn outreach, email outreach, cold email outreach basically. And we can also complement that with cold DM outreach. And then you need to learn a little bit of email copywriting. And there are a bunch of other systems that you have to create, and start reaching out directly to the CEO, the founder, or the hiring manager. If a company is huge, like it's a publicly traded company, there's no point reaching out to the CEO or the founder or the president. They are not going to read your emails. They have tons of other different things to do. But if you're reaching out to a slightly smaller company, let's say a company that is less than 100 people, or if it is a startup, or if it is an agency, like a marketing agency, basically if it has, let's say, a less than 100 people, in that case, I would advise that you should reach out directly to the CEO, because when a company is at that stage of growth, they know the founders or the CEO is very much in sync with what kind of manpower they need, what kind of resources they need to acquire to keep the show going and to grow even further. So if you reach out to them for a company that is at that stage of growth, where it is less than 100 employees or less than 50 employees, they will read your email, they will read your message. And if they do have a requirement for your services or your expertise, they are going to get back to you. Now, there is a certain way this should be done. There is a certain level of sophistication that you should have in this process for you to have a chance of catching their attention and scheduling an interview. And to help guys who are stuck in this maze right now, I have created a program that is called Skip the Line System, where we basically teach everything, all these things. How are you going to write the cold emails? How are you going to find the email addresses? What are some of the best times to reach out to people? How you can do this process manually, and how you can automate this as well? How are you going to schedule the interviews or the sales meeting, and how you're going to close them, how you're going to get them to hire you basically. All this process is we have also created a course that is hosted on Gumroad, and we are also teaching this through live online classes, like weekly classes, and apart we have a community where we provide all the lessons and resources. So if you'd like to basically learn how to do job search and prospecting properly in this time, to minimize your misery, to stop wasting time further, and to just not feel lost, like, what am I doing wrong? Most of the candidates, most of these young guys, they are spending hours and hours on LinkedIn, applying to dozens of jobs every day and just not getting any responses. So if you would like to get out of that situation faster and to reduce that time gap that is spent between once you start seeking job and the time when you ultimately land a job or find a job, if you happen to know somebody who can refer you, that's great. But I know that that is not the situation for 95% of the people. So if you need help with this process, feel free to comment or email me. My email would be in the description, or you can also go out and check that course on Gumroad, Skip the Line System. And I would love to help you find your dream job faster. Second would be, another situation is that where people just don't have the skills that are required to find a well-paying job, especially a remote job. And in that case, we have another solution where we teach people some professional skills, and then they can go ahead and find full-time remote jobs or freelancing jobs for that kind of roles. So let me know if you'd like to know more about that as well. So I hope this video was useful to you. You learned something new, and I'll be posting consistent videos on job search, employment, career, freelancing, etc. So feel free to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.